I'm Commander Shepard, and you're listening to my favorite podcast on the Citadel, Raw Dogs.
Hours last night. I didn't really drink. I was just like, I need to go to bed.
I don't remember going to bed, and I found my iPad next to me, and apparently I started watching Avatar. And I don't remember it.
Because you want to be caught up for Way of Water.
Yeah, I'm such a big Avatar fan that I'm nervous to go, because if it's not the best thing that's ever happened in my life, I will be depressed.
I got really drunk a couple nights ago.
I'm going to kill myself.
I got really drunk a couple nights ago, and for some reason, when I went to bed, I put on a random episode of The Walking Dead from the Terminus storyline.
Oh.
Which is like season 5 or some shit.
Isn't that the one with the governor?
No, after that.
Oh.
But for whatever reason, Drunk Tyler was like, I want to see Rick Grimes fuck some cannibals up.
Yeah.
It's the most random shit I could have watched.
I just end up watching the most garbage anime on the face of the planet. I'm like, let's see what this is. They say it's good on the internet. Let's take a look. Let's have a real judgment here.
Did you ever watch...
Speaking of garbage, welcome to Raw Dogs. Raw Dogs is part of Hair the Dogcast. We're a podcast about video games and beer and hangovers and Wii U's. And my name is Brad. We're part of the Tokyo Beat Podcast Network. Check out all the other amazing shows there. Hi. Who else is here?
My name is Tyler. I'm very tired.
What did you do?
I've been working a lot.
On the railroad?
Oh, yeah. Dude, do you see these calluses?
Yeah, man.
These blisties?
Yeah. Look at these blisties.
Dude, they're really disgusting. Don't touch things.
I got blisters on my fingers.
My blisters have blisters.
No, I'm just a sleepy boy.
Just sleepy.
Plus, it's before noon. I'm not supposed to be out of the house yet.
Do you still like video games?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank God, because this has been awkward.
I'm Dylan, and I'm constantly questioning whether or not I do love video games. But here I am. And honestly, I keep playing them, so there's something really that still works.
I think 2023 is going to be the year of my tastes in video game, and the time I invest in them is going to just start fluctuating and changing.
Yeah. Well, what are you, 34 now?
You're 34 now, and I just look at other games, and I'm like, well, I could just play Elden Ring, I guess. I'm like, I guess I haven't read a book in a long time. Maybe I should read books.
Honestly, yeah.
I finished up my first book in a long time. I've read The House of the Dragon, Fire and Blood, the new George R. R. Martin. No, whatever it is, the big one, the new one.
Yeah.
House of the Dragon might be what it's called. But it was good.
Fire and Blood.
Today, we're talking about the Nintendo Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Dylan, you said your name, right?
Yeah, I said my name.
He's Dylan. Okay, we're not hungover. I'm not hungover.
I'm not hungover.
This is
I
a
had
bit
beers
that I'm
last
doing.
night, but I plan on getting drunk while I'm here. I walked here for fun.
Before we talk about the Wii U, Dylan, what do you have for us? Let me set these glasses on top of the Wii U here.
That like makes me nervous.
There's not even any alcohol in there yet. And you're like, that looks stupid.
So I went out on a limb and I bought from Artisanal Brew Works. Sorry, Warheads Extreme Sour Ales, and they have kind of all the flavors. Does this encompass all the flavors? Do you remember, Brad?
I don't know, but it is a mixed 4-pack of beer with 4 different options.
Okay,
Warheads had one flavor. It's sour. It's
one
lane. They got one speed. It's fast.
In my head, I kind of wanted to do a thing where I wanted to what I call nuke the podcast. Because I'm kind of the Lucifer of this of this grouping. I'm wondering, gentlemen, what would you like first? The green apple, black cherry, blue raspberry, or watermelon?
Blue raspberry.
I was going to say either green apple or blue raspberry, not the black cherry. That sounds horrible.
The black cherry does not sound good.
What, you don't want to taste cough medicine?
Did you get these at Siegel's?
No, I actually got them in Spring Green.
Oh, all right. They sell them at Siegel's, and I see them every time I drop off oak beer.
Oh, shit. Really?
And it's like, man, I should try that.
That's interesting.
The Nintendo Wii U is a console.
Oh, boy.
And
hold on, Brad.
Okay.
I know you're talking here, but
that is a blue looking beer.
Jesus.
It does look radioactive.
It looks like
It
if you
smells
put Papa
radioactive.
Smurf through a juicer.
I was thinking about how much I want to drink radioactive blue beer this morning, and lo and behold, Dylan has delivered. Dylan the delivery man.
It's fine. This is enough.
That's what the D stands for in D-Man. It's delivery. All right.
Oh, boy.
Warheads.
Gentlemen. All right.
It tastes like a warhead.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think it's pretty good.
I think it's fine.
Yeah, that's solid.
It is sour. And it is traditionally like, not like tart.
Yeah.
But it is that pucker.
I think they nailed the candy.
Yeah.
They nailed the candy. I just don't taste any of the liquor.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Yeah, that's like I had a friend in college who used to make something he called blue drink.
Blue drink.
And it was the shittiest vodka you could ever have, and it was like Kool-Aid essentially. And he's like, and he would just constantly say like, well, it tastes like candy. And I'm like, that's really not the point. Like, you're supposed to be like imbibing this. You're not supposed to just be like, yeah, this is. And he would get completely like schlocked off his gourd, and then nobody would question why.
So the can says this is a malt beverage with natural flavor and certified color. This color is indeed certified, guys.
No shit.
Whatever that means.
It's
But
beautiful. Hold it up to the light. It's cloudy. All right, Wii U.
I love the Wii U.
I do too.
Do you own a Wii U?
I used to.
You don't anymore.
No, I sold it when around the Switch was coming out to buy a Switch.
So this is, I didn't buy day one by any means, but a console that,
This is like the 2014 model, right?
yeah, I mean, the models never really changed. We'll talk about that, but
Right.
I have the Mario Kart bundle, but I played a whole lot of some games because there was
There was only so much.
a limited library. But Tyler, I'm curious, what is your experience with the Wii U?
Nada.
Nothing.
Nothing. This is, I think, my first time being in the same room as one.
Are you serious?
It might be.
They didn't sell that much.
I also was
they
not a
surely
big Wii fan, like overall, from start to finish.
Yeah, the Nintendo Wii was a fantastic console for Nintendo. For people that wanted to make money, that invest in Nintendo, that was a good thing for them.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's interesting. Nintendo, it seems they'll either have one of the most groundbreaking, biggest consoles ever, or they kind of have a dud a little bit.
Yeah, but even their duds are memorable.
I mean,
The 64, I think, was just quite duddy to me.
It was a big dud.
The
But
GameCube initially seemed like a dud. Turned out it was probably my favorite of that generation.
well, it was the first
Truly.
portable console.
it also had the most, for the first time, the most graphical horsepower,
Yeah. And
which has not happened again.
but Nintendo plays by different rules, and they do things differently. But the Wii was a massive success for them. Let's talk a little bit about the development of the Wii U. This was conceived in 2008 after Nintendo recognized the Wii had limitations, primarily that the system was kind of geared towards casual gamers. They weren't getting the hardcore people as much. They were getting the elderly playing Wii bowling in all the commercials, anyways.
And
I never
chil-
actually saw an elderly person play Wii bowling. I think Tom had one.
God. I've seen old people use it. I've still seen it in like retirement homes and stuff. It's still out there.
Yeah.
It's also like such a rudimentary system. The one thing I always had a problem with the Wii was until the Wii Motion Plus, those games were just so basic in concept and idea and too easy. There was not a lot of skill involved to Wii bowling. There just wasn't. If you had the right angle and the right curve on every single ball, I was scoring 300s in Wii bowling like that.
There's a YouTuber named Eddie Burback who
Yep.
does a video where he tries to get 300 twice, right? Twice
Yeah.
in a row.
I haven't seen the video. I know Eddie Burback, though. He's a cool YouTuber.
It's a really funny video, but you're right. There's a guy on YouTube who's like, if you turn your wrist this certain
Yep.
way and you put your character here and you do this, that, and the other thing, you
Well-
sacrifice a goat, you'll get a turkey.
Honestly, no. I got perfect 300s maybe 3 times in a row, though I wasn't streaming at the time.
As far as bowling games go, I think Tekken Tag Tournament had my favorite bowling.
Yeah, I think I agree.
But so the Wii U, they were considering, what are we going to do to get hardcore gamers back? Sure. The Wii didn't have HD, limited network infrastructure. Miyamoto originally considered a small screen to provide feedback and status messages, more like a VMU than the big screen that we see here today.
Sure.
Later in development, it was expanded to a full screen and an entire display. It was a concept not considered financially viable at first, and that is one of the reasons the Wii U did kind of shoot itself, because it was expensive when it came out. Rumors began to appear clearly in 2010. I put down 2020, but I think that was wrong on my outline. With speculation of an upcoming revision for the Wii scheduled for 2011, known as the Wii HD. Iwata said the Wii successor might be 3D TV compatible, but concluded the adoption rates of 3D television should increase to at least 30% first. You don't see 3D televisions anywhere anymore.
No, there was one in the house I lived in Denver.
You actually lived with one.
I lived with one.
Did you have to wear glasses?
Yep.
You watched Avatar every day?
No, I watched one movie one time. And it was the Jurassic Park sequel, the new one.
Jurassic World.
Yeah.
There's a lot of sequels to Jurassic.
Well, there's 3 of them now, right?
There's, I think, 5 or 6 of them now.
No, with Mario in it. What's his face?
Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
There are 3 of them.
Can we just start referring to him as Mario from now on?
Well, I want to call him Chris Pine every single time, but that's the guy from the Star Trek remakes.
That's true.
Yes, also from the great Wonder Woman franchise.
Oh, that's right. He is.
We all love Wonder Woman 1984.
We love the first one.
It's fine.
E3 2010, Iwata said it would announce a new console once they ran out of ideas with the current hardware and ran out of meaningful surprises. Later in an investors meeting like that week, he said, yeah, of course we're developing the next console. Don't worry, guys. They wanted to keep everything secret, and they said it was very important to surprise people, which I think is true. Plus, they also didn't want anyone to steal the ideas that they were working on. And I think the Wii U in concept is awesome. In the way it was portrayed and explained, they failed miserably.
Well, the big thing is that I don't know what the U in Wii U stands for. This flew under my radar until it came out. I had no clue. I didn't think it was a sequel to the Wii. I saw it as like an expansion, and I think a lot of people did. Their marketing was so awful with
I
this.
also thought it was an addition to the Wii.
Right.
Like, I didn't think it was a separate console.
Yeah, how fucking horrible is that?
Yeah.
You guys are
someone who's in the know.
You guys are gamers.
I know.
You know these things.
Yeah.
And even you thought it must just be like, because when they did announce this, they announced April 25th, 2011, an official statement announcing a system to succeed the Wii would be released in 2012 and a playable console units at E3 2011. June 7th, 2011 is when the Wii U was unveiled by Reggie. He explained the Wii U would be a system we all enjoy together, but also one that's tailor-made for you. And he pointed it at you with it. But
I wasn't there, so he was pointing at a blank screen.
At the announcement, though, like they didn't show the console at all, because the Wii U is the console and the gamepad.
Yeah.
And all they had like on stage was like this, and they were holding the gamepad up.
Yeah.
And it says Wii, which makes you think, okay, it's part of the Wii. It wasn't the Super Wii. It wasn't like even the Super Wii would
The
be
Wii
a bad
360?
name for it. Maybe the 3.6 Wii.
The 3.6 Wii.
3.6 Wii. That's pretty good.
But it's just, I think people were, initially very confused. And
It's a nice controller.
it's a great gamepad.
Well, we got to get that out of the way right away. That's one of the best controllers I've ever wielded because it has heft and you can kind of set it on your lap and it feels comfortable. I mean, it's the first system I played Earthbound on too. Like, that's one of my favorite games of all time.
But you know what's tough even to explain this to people? You have the Wii controller, the original Wii controller, and you see someone swing it, and then a swing happens on screen. 1-to-1, I fucking get it. This Wii U gamepad, trying to show the benefits of having two screens is not an easy thing to do to people. Like they
But
showed
they already proved that though.
But they were supposed to be so good at this because the DS has 2 screens.
The DS though. I mean, gosh, that's like a great portable console. And what is the Wii U? I remember being very upset that you had to be within like 10, 20 feet or whatever of the console.
Its distance was really abysmal.
Because otherwise...
I tried to play it in a bathroom of a studio apartment, and it would not connect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's less than 10 feet.
And yeah, so you have to be close to the console. And I think, people were just very confused. And the prototype hardware and tech demos were available to attendees, showcasing gameplay concepts and capabilities of the consoles. They showed a Zelda-themed graphics demo and a new Super Mario Brothers, but
another new Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
That one was actually a good one. I don't think the ones on the Wii were all that good, but the one they did for this.
Because what was the first new Super Mario Brothers? That was for the DS, right?
That was for the DS, right? And it came out around 2005, I believe.
No.
Yeah. And it was good, but like the whole thing was that it was at the time 2D/3D side scrollers were kind of a novelty.
Yeah.
And they were fine Mario games, but they weren't special. People freaked out over them, but then they produced those like ad hoc, like over and over again. I mean, there's like what? There's New Super Mario Brothers, New Super Mario Brothers 2, New Super Mario Brothers 3D, New Super Mario Brothers.
New Super Luigi.
At what point?
Well, it's just a terrible name. New.
Yeah.
Just call it something else, man. Super Mario Brothers 5. That's all you gotta call it. That would be a great name.
Naming conventions, though, should just always work that way. And when they don't, it pisses me off.
Well, I mean, Assassin's Creed realized if we just keep putting numbers on this, people are going to start thinking we're silly.
Well, they stopped after 4.
Yeah, because they're like, we can't do this anymore, guys.
Honestly, I liked that, though.
And it makes sense because it gives you more of an idea of what the game is.
Well, also
Black Flag.
Well, they've also produced more of them at this point than like you can. If you were a newcomer to Assassin's Creed, you would literally have to Google where do I start.
Yeah.
I mean, for the first part, you'd be fine, but you wouldn't understand that Revelations and Brotherhood were in between 2 and 3.
No,
Yeah.
you do need a guide.
You would need an absolute guide, but their naming conventions were literally like market tested to hell. They clearly did not do that with the Wii U.
Oh, what a stupid name. It's just bad.
Why is it called the Wii U?
Well,
I think U stands for like universe. I think that's kind of like their core philosophy. They really wanted to make this a social platform, by my understanding, because the whole like main hub of it, if you turn it on, is truly just a bunch of Miis walking around from across the internet, and there will be like posts from the what they call it, the Miiverse. Is that what it's called?
well, when you see all the Mii's come on
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
there's a name for that place. It's the Wara Wara Plaza.
Jesus, what?
There actually is a name for it.
That's stupid.
The Wara Wara Plaza?
What?
It's just you see you and like maybe your friends. Like I
Yeah.
booted my Wii U up for the first time in a long time, and it
Everybody
was
is just
my
dead.
brother was there, and then everyone else was dead. No. It just showed me and my brother, and then I think they just populated it with other Mii's. But
Yeah.
I was online with it. I still was able to go to the shop and stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
It's still going. That's kind of nuts.
Well, the Wii U shop is closing, I believe, later this year.
you should get Devil's Third for it. That's going to be worth money.
But if it's
It's
digital,
still digital if it's on the system.
okay.
So I was able to sell PT for so much.
Yeah, I really regret that you did that.
I do too. It's before we were friends. So
2 days after they announced the Wii U, Nintendo stock fell nearly 10% to levels not seen since 2006.
yikes.
Analysts expressed skepticism about the touchscreen and that the controller would be less affordable and less innovative than the Wii controller.
Well, it was because you only needed one of them.
You mean that there's no reason to buy more controllers?
You already had the other controllers that you needed.
And you can have 2 gamepads hooked up to the console.
You can.
But people don't, it's not utilized in games.
It's, yeah.
And there wasn't a killer app when this came out really either that like really showcased there was no Mario Kart 8, there was no Legend of Zelda, no Metroid Prime 4.
I think what a big mistake was, and when I got my Wii U bundle, I got Mario Kart 8 and the Wii U Adventure Park or something like that. What's it called?
Yep.
Okay, so
Sounds
it
good.
was basically showing you every single way that you could potentially use this as a system.
Yeah.
Like there was a Luigi's Mansion game where the person with the controller
Yeah.
was the ghost, and you had your own screen, and everyone else on the other screen had no vision. So you were stalking them, and your whole entire thing was like finding them before they could shine a flashlight on you. And the fact that there were 2 screens made it so easy. Like you could keep it secret. And that was cool. I mean, like the gyro in this is fantastic. They had like a kind of shooter. You were Samus Aran's battleship, like her dropship, and you would literally like turn it around and do that. It was better than Star Fox Zero, I'll tell you that.
I think the killer game for when they debuted it, they should have had the dopest Mario Party ever made.
It should have been the
all
best
geared
Mario
around
Party.
that and just
Yep.
showcase 4 games and why you need to play them.
I think you're right.
Because that would have been great. Instead of like, here's a tech demo of what Zelda could look like on there.
Well, they had a lot of at the time Nintendo was courting a lot of third party because they were
Please
starting
make
to
Call
get,
of Duty for us, please.
Yeah, and they did. They got Mass Effect 3 on there.
Yeah,
despite having no other Mass Effect, which is like the point.
EA was at one of the E3s and they came out. They didn't announce any games. They're like, we're going to put some games on here. Trust us. And the games they put on there, you know, they didn't perform as well. The Wii U is not as powerful as your PlayStations or Xboxes.
No.
And like you mentioned, it got Mass Effect 3. It got Batman Arkham City Armored Edition.
Yeah.
In case you wanted to play Batman on the Wii U.
I hear it's good.
It's supposed to be fine, but you got unique armor was like the draw or something like that.
Love
Yeah.
that.
Big fan of that.
Big win. Big W for Nintendo there.
Well, and I mean that helped. They did start. To be fair, they did really try to court and try to make their own like exclusives. But I think they were at a point where development times have started increasing, like kind of exponentially, and they couldn't make the kind of games they wanted. The Wii U used to house some of the best games of all time, and they used to be exclusively on there. Pikmin 3 is a brilliant game.
Some of the best games on the Switch are Wii U games.
I know, exactly. Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze.
Holy fuck, that game is
that
amazing.
game rips so much ass, Tyler. I've got to let you borrow mine because
Yeah,
I have it on the
definitely.
Switch.
I plugged in the Wii U and I brought out a stack of games. I'm like, let's go play some Wii U. And I just put Tropical Freeze in and I just played that for 4 hours. Said I don't want to play anything else.
Yeah, I know.
It is the prettiest, like, most beautiful platformer ever made. I don't.
Yeah.
Some of the hit detection, the way Donkey Kong moves, I don't love.
No.
But the level design and the music is. There's nothing as good as that in the platforming realm. It is the best looking platformer ever made.
I will go to bat for that.
It is insane.
It
And
looks
that-
like
my-
it still looks like a fucking Pixar.
and my copy is signed by Dave Wise. We are not worthy. Thank you, Dave.
You're not worthy. Thank you.
Yeah.
For being on our podcast.
Thanks for drinking all of our beer.
That's perfect.
You and Kevin are
I
always
would
welcome.
rather you do it than me.
Yeah.
I mean, there was so much going for it, and I think I'm just gonna throw this out there. I think people lack imagination in general.
People have to be told how to use imagination.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think this was so ambitious. I think this could have been popular if people really got a taste of what it was. Because not everyone's going into a GameStop and trying it. And even then, you don't want to touch it because some ratty kid was, using it.
What the first thing you do when you announce your Wii U, you say, this is the Nintendo something other than Wii U.
Yeah.
And you don't show the gamepad first, you show the console first. You say, this is HD, we're going to be online, we're not using friend codes.
Why didn't they call it the Wii 2?
The Wii 2 is a million times better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, or the Super Wii.
Or the number 2.
Well, Super Wii sounds like an expansion too,
But first you showcase it's HD. It's going to be, we're getting EA on board. It's
Yeah.
going to be a modern console and we're going for it. And then afterwards, and also if you like the Wii controller, you're going to love this. And then you show the gamepad. People didn't even know that the console was a new thing. They thought the gamepad was your just going to be added to your Wii.
Oh my God.
And-
I think I did too.
And you also say, hey, what about all my Wii games? Backwards compatible. It is also going to play. If you missed the Wii and you want to play Mario Galaxy, this will play it for you. It's got the sensor. It's got the Wii controllers.
I think the one thing that could have clinched this and made it the most popular console that Nintendo ever did is that if it was also GameCube compatible.
That would be tough, though.
Those
Those stupid GameCube discs are a headache.
make it,
Yeah.
but make it a little bigger.
Yeah.
Then add the ports, and that's all you would need in a slot for, memory cards. It would have been fine. I think.
I think it would have been fine.
I mean, look at the size of the Wii. Like in comparison to the Wii U console itself, the Wii was smaller, and the hardware you could have made it a little bit bigger. What's the point in having it this size? There was no console that was this size.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
and it
it's
wouldn't have cost them that much more tech wise. They could even have tagged like $25 onto the price. If I got an option for one that could do GameCube games, I would have bought that.
Let's talk about the price. This was released in North America November 18th, 2012, and it came out in Japan December 8th. So it came out in Japan after North America, which is very odd. But the basic set came out at $299. This was more expensive than like the PlayStations and Xboxes
Slim.
at the time.
Well, it wasn't the Slim; it was the second model of PlayStation 3.
They announced that new like wonky sliding disc tray or something.
Oh no, that wasn't
So
it. No,
ugly.
it was before that.
Okay.
They still had the version I still have, which is kind of the nicer looking, kind of more compact one.
Yeah.
Without the chrome on the edges and stuff like that. That was still in that because I remember near the release of, I think it was 2013 that they released the sliding one.
When did the PS4 come out?
PS4 came out in 2014.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so this came out at $299, and that's just for the white Wii U with 8 gigabytes of storage,
An abysmal amount of storage.
a white gamepad, and a stylus. You didn't get the Motion Plus controllers when you got the original sets.
No.
And for $349, you got the deluxe premiere set. And
32 whole gigs.
it was a black Wii U with 32 gigabytes of storage, black gamepad. You got a stylus, a Nintendo Network premium subscription, the Nintendo Land game, as well as stands.
Nintendo Land. That's the one.
Stands for the console, controller, and sensor bar.
That's actually a higher value.
It's such a bigger value, the $350. I don't even know why they would bother. I guess
Nintendo Land was fun.
No, Nintendo Land's great.
Yeah.
I was thinking for like the 8 gigabyte Wii U. I think they just needed to have that as a price point they could say. But it was really the only one you're going to get is a $350 one if you're
knowledgeable.
If you're knowledgeable.
I have a feeling a lot of people were shafted on that. Now I forget. Does this have like a SD card port?
It does
to
have
expand
it does have an expansion port.
Okay,
Yeah.
well then that's fine, I guess. Like because I have that in my Switch as well. What is the capacity on the Switch itself? I think it's close to 32.
I don't know. I got a big old memory stick in there, so it's fine.
I've got like almost a terabyte.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't filled it up, so that's good.
Well, I have several times over probably.
You're the resident Switch guy, though. You know?
I'm the Switch bitch. Yeah.
Yeah. The first week, the Wii U sold its allotment in the U.S. of 400,000 units. 600,000 units were sold in Japan in December. Worldwide, by the end of 2012, 3.06 million consoles had been shipped. But sales were lower than expected, cutting sales projections by 17% from 5.5 million to 4 million. And they actually only sold 3.5 million, I think, for the year.
Oh God. This was almost their Dreamcast.
In many ways, I mean, the Dreamcast is a tentpole thing people like to talk about because it is a console ahead of its time. And it was a great console that just was the wrong place at the wrong time, maybe.
Absolutely. But that's also like, that's what this one was too. If they had given it another year and upgraded its graphical capabilities to be on par with maybe the PS4, I think they could have stretched the Wii's lifespan a little bit longer. I think they got greedy.
The Wii it still existed afterwards for a while, but I think the biggest problem was they didn't have Mario Kart or Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
You need to have the killer game, and New Super Mario Brothers is not the Mario game people want.
To be fair, a year and a half after its release, they did have a Smash Brothers, which is pretty good.
Well, also when they announced the Wii U, they also hinted Smash Brothers was coming to it, and Sakurai didn't know shit about that. He's like, no one told me.
Oh God, I didn't know that.
Love
one.
that.
Yep. All right, back to work, Sakurai.
You just made Brawl
Do it again.
one of the highest selling games on the Wii.
Yeah.
One of the most popular game systems ever created.
Or I think the best use of the Wii U
For
is
my money, it's Super Mario Maker.
it's
Yeah.
so integral to have the gamepad and to have the second screen.
It's literally about creation. Yeah.
One thing I hate about the Switch is it doesn't include a stylus. Because I don't like touching my Switch screen for nothing. I don't want to touch it because
Yeah,
I don't want
fuck that.
fingerprints on there. And
Yeah, you don't want to look through fingerprints.
there's nothing nicer than making a Mario level with the stylus on the Wii U.
Sure.
It was just so fun, like moving blocks or anything.
No, I understand that.
I wish that the Switch had a stylus.
Yeah, but I mean, Mario, you can lighten the sensitivity and you can get things placed pretty quick in Mario Maker 2.
Yeah. This, though, I think is probably the killer, the best use of the concept of the
Yeah.
Wii U. Otherwise, there's like 10 out of 10 games like Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze. You you either play on the gamepad or the TV. Nothing else.
Yeah, that's it.
Mario Kart 8, you can see like the map on there, which I'm not gonna ever fucking use.
Well, I really liked that one specifically. I think that the pad controller actually works really well for Mario Kart 8.
Are you talking about for steering or to toot the horn? Because you can go meow, meow.
Yeah, I like doing that.
That's what
You can literally toot the horn with the
on
screen.
the screen.
Yeah,
That's dope.
I like tooting
It's
the horn.
cool, but also it's not the killer use of the technology.
I mean,
It's a pretty killer use.
Have you ever honked a horn at somebody?
It's so vindicating.
Yeah, fuck you.
The only time anyone ever wanted to play my Wii U with me was when Super Mario 3D World came out.
That sounds like a really dirty sentence.
My
Whenever anybody wanted to play,
to see my Wii and you?
go play my Wii U.
That was your Tinder profile. Looking for someone to touch my Wii U with me.
That would have gotten me a very strict subset of women, but as long as someone got the fucking joke. But or when Mario Kart 8 came out, because everyone loves Mario Kart. It's the most popular Mario franchise within the franchise. Everyone knows what Mario Kart is. Everyone. Your mother, your grandma knows what Mario Kart is. Your little nephew knows what Mario Kart is. Some people might not know what Mario Odyssey is.
This is the Chris Pratt game.
Yeah, it's my favorite.
Chris Pratt card.
Chris Pratt cart.
Let's a go.
Yahoo. This is also not super related, but this was around the time when I started noticing the back of game cases just became diarrhea. Visual diarrhea. It's like, we're going to have 4 languages on there, just text heavy.
Yeah, that is true.
You know what you're getting. That's essentially what they're saying.
And I just hate how much I don't need to have the French advertisement or warning, advertissement, or Spanish advertencia.
But it says importante.
It is importante, but
And look at the, you know how they describe what you need to use it? I mean, just take a look at the bottom of Super Smash Bros. U.
yeah.
It's indecipherable. It looks like hieroglyphics.
Oh my god. Yeah. So does Mario Kart.
Okay, gamepad, Wii controller plus nunchuck, Wii U Pro controller, Wii plus gamepad controller, GameCube controller adapter plus 4 GameCube controllers, SD.
Yeah.
Shit, mine's got an Xbox controller.
That's the Pro. Yeah, they made it too confusing. What they wanted to do is they wanted to make a bridge for people who played the Wii to not immediately be, like overwhelmed with this newer console. And through doing that, they made it too confusing.
Well, and they didn't even have an Imagine Party Babies U come out. And I don't know why else I would get a console. Ooh, that sounded great.
Oh boy.
I like that.
We're in a tight space. If you could see how full this table is right now.
With Wii U shit.
Yeah.
Yes, the storage, like we said, had 8 gigabytes for the basic, 32 for the deluxe, removable storage. SD card up to 32 gigabytes. USB storage device if you wanted to hook one up to 2 terabytes. The display could do HDMI up to 1080p. There's a lot of graphics and sound stuff that's beyond my pay grade, so we're going to skip that.
Sounds. It's got sounds.
3.3 pounds for the console. The gamepad specs. This is displaying in 480p, the gamepad. 6.2-inch resistive touchscreen display. And we're going to have ourselves another delicious Warhead beer here. Which one do we got? The watermelon?
We have the watermelon.
Ooh, I love watermelon.
I do love watermelon. It's funny, you eat an actual watermelon, it's not that flavorful.
I wish I had real seeds.
Watermelon is overrated.
Ooh, I don't think that's
I
true.
think it's overrated.
I think it's properly rated.
Actually, no, it's overrated.
I like it in candy form.
Pineapple is underrated.
Yes, it is.
Pineapple is the best fruit.
Wrong, but it's fine.
There's a pineapple like variant in Hawaii called soursop. It looked like a pineapple, but it tasted like a Jolly Rancher mixed with a Warhead.
Oh,
It was fucking awesome.
I like mango.
Mango's good too.
Mango tastes like vomit to me.
Really? I think pineapple tastes kind of cummy.
I knew you were going to say that. 35.
I think we're only insulting pineapple.
I just don't know if I like the word cummy.
It's great. It's great.
It's great.
I just think it tastes weird. I think I don't know. Like, I like it in things, but eating it on its own, I mean, they don't even want you to eat it. They got barbs all over it.
The gamepad is a fantastic little piece of technology. So 6.2-inch resistive touchscreen display. It's got a camera because they're like, you're going to want a video chat with your friends.
Which never happened.
I didn't use the camera, I think, for anything.
They used it a lot though.
What's that?
They used it a lot though.
Who did?
Nintendo. They were watching you.
They were.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Pratt's like, go to Brad now.
They were watching me masturbate to Pikmin. Damn.
Turn the channel.
Those little guys.
It's a 1.3 megapixel
Get me
camera.
going.
And also, this little guy was a new thing for this generation. This is a NFC, a near field communication thing.
Yep.
And it supports cards and figurines. So
It was a chip reader.
I grab my Pikachu amiibo, and I go, boom. All of a sudden, my Pikachu is in the game. And it doesn't really it doesn't do much. You can train your Smash Brothers fighters, and then it stores your... it's like a a computer.
That's how you unlock all of the different sprites in Super Mario Maker.
Which is cool.
Which is the dopest function, which should have been in Mario Maker 2, but they didn't.
Yeah. Amiibos were a very big deal initially because they were paired with Smash Brothers U.
I was a hunter.
It's not Smash Brothers U. It's Super Smash Bros. For Wii U. Another great...
Awful title.
What happened with naming conventions, you ding-dongs? You were so close. New Super Mario Brothers. Nintendo NES Remix Pack is actually pretty
it's
cool.
great, yeah.
That's a great game. And this
I love
has
that
the
game.
Remix 1 and Remix 2.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. But
Those were on the 3DS first, right?
probably?
so.
Yeah, we'll say yes.
I love amiibos. Famously, I have the most out of anyone that I know.
More than Tom?
I have way more than Tom.
Okay.
Have you seen my lineup on my bookshelf?
I have a buddy in South Dakota who had all of them for a while.
Until
for like
they
the first
released more.
couple 2 or 3 years. And then
Yeah.
eventually it's just
too much.
he wanted to buy a house someday.
Sure. I think
Sold his amiibo collection.
I
Chris, if you're
counted.
listening.
I have 65 amiibos.
That's quite a bit.
That's a lot.
65?
I have 65 amiibos. Yeah.
I have Pikachu. And then there was an Animal Crossing game for the Wii U
I have some of those. Yeah.
which was horrible.
Yeah. It was a bad turn-based game.
You want Animal Crossing? Here is a very shitty board game, party game version of it. And here's your 2 amiibos. And it was like $5. And I said, I don't even want it, but I guess for $5.
Do you have a Party Babies amiibo?
No.
God, I should make that.
But I also have the Super Mario Brothers cereal right there. That is an amiibo as
at the
well.
bottom of it. It has one of the cards.
Yeah. My buddy Justin, he was able to like get the the little like devices or whatever they have in there, and he puts them onto cards. So like he has like cards that you can use as amiibos for anything, which is really cool.
Oh, that was a huge industry.
I was thinking for a while it'd be cool for business cards for the podcast if we made like ourselves into amiibos.
Oh, that'd be really
like
cool.
Mii's or something.
Yeah.
And then you hand them out and like it's also an amiibo, so you could like go there and like Dylan's on your Switch, and then it crashes because it's like a virus and we got you. Yep. He's like, cummy.
I think, cummy. That's what he says. The importance of amiibos can't be overstated. That was the only Toys to Life that really stuck, and it's still pretty damn popular. Think about it, like you see, like the Spyro games. What are they called? Like the Outlanders, or
and Lego Dimensions was also very big, like that. The smart toys, whatever.
Toys to Life. But the great thing about the amiibos is that they just looked cool. Like that's mainly the reason I have them. Like you can't find a lot of figures of these characters everywhere, and so they were kind of like accessible versions of that. A lot of them ended up being the Smash Brothers trophies too. They look like the Smash Brothers trophies.
And you go back to the first Smash Brothers game and you see it's like, oh, it's an amiibo. Yeah, that's exactly what they were kind of.
It's cool.
Hinting at a little bit.
Yeah.
Back to work, Sakurai.
Yeah, I mean, that was such a huge investment for Nintendo, and I think that's where they made most of their money back.
Do you prefer the Wii U gamepad, to the Switch gamepad? Do you prefer holding the Wii U to the Switch?
Let me revisit. I like the heft. I like the grooves right here.
The grooves on the back are nice.
The grooves are really nice. I like the positioning of the sticks.
Yeah.
I understand what Switch had to do to make that work and why it was that way, because they were trying to make a portable console that could be multiplayer. If you just set up the stand, you pop out the two controller sides and you have two controllers. That works. This, though, just feels so much better. You want to know what? I think that the Steam Deck is...
Do you have one?
No, I played it, though.
Okay.
I've played the Steam Deck, and that is the closest thing to the Wii U gamepad I have ever seen.
Yeah.
And it rules. It plays really well. The pads are in the same spot, or the control sticks are in the same spot. You have like a pad here. You've got your buttons right here. And then everything is kind of moved right towards the top. So you have a full grip for a man's hand,
Yeah.
Tyler, you felt the man's hand.
Looking for a woman to put their man hands on my Wii U.
So I actually
like long walks and Nintendo Land.
That was one of the things I said. I'm like, this reminds me.
Nintendo Land and man hands.
No, I think the Steam Deck is the obvious evolution of that, because it's portable, but not really.
Something that they showed on the Switch advertising too was with the Joy-Cons. People at like social situations, they put down like the gamepad and they're like playing with their Joy-Cons with each other. I've never done that.
I've done it a couple times.
I on an airplane I have done where I set the Switch up and I was just holding my Joy-Cons, and that was, I mean, I'm not going to ever bring a gamepad, like actual controller with me, but
No.
yeah, speaking of controllers, the Wii U Pro controller came out alongside as well. And
You actually got one.
I have two of these.
Oh, wow.
Because this was a Smash Brothers machine for me, the Wii U, and the Wii U Pro controller is what you're going to want to be playing most of your games. The gamepad is great, and you can play, like I was playing Donkey Kong on the gamepad looking at the TV screen, and that's 100% doable and fantastic. But if you have friends over, you're going to need extra controllers, and I
was famously a Wii user for my Smash Bros.
And you never want to be the guy who is like
holding nunchuck.
Well, with a nunchuck, it's good, but they show people just holding the Wii controller, the motion controller, sideways.
Impossible.
You have one D-pad, the 1 and 2.
You gotta use your middle finger.
It's
for
just
the trigger.
it's not designed to be held sideways. It's
No.
100% not.
Well, especially with the condom you have on it.
Well, this was because it was like you required almost, because people were like breaking shit.
You can take them off. You don't need that.
I like it. I like my
I
little...
don't like it. I think it looks like a Fisher-Price toy.
Well, it is red with an M on it. It does look like a Fisher-Price
It does,
toy.
yeah.
The cow goes.
What, do you wish it was like black and chrome and it said "cummy" on it?
Well, yeah, C for cummy. But I always took those off.
What's the C stand for? Cummy.
Cummy.
It's Mario's
It
friend.
reminds me of pineapple a little bit.
Or durian fruit.
But the Pro Controller, the Wii U Pro Controller is interesting in that they have the analog sticks up on the top and the buttons down lower, which I haven't seen another controller that really does that.
No, well, I mean, like I said, the Steam Deck now. I think that it's actually a lot easier to manage. To move down to press is easier than to move up because your range of motion on your thumb refuses to go up further than it does to go down. Mm-hmm. They just want to make it more comfortable for range of movement.
Comfortable?
Comfortable. But no, I mean, I guess like they're smarter than me, so I wouldn't know. Maybe they did it for like the like the baseline of their consumer base. But I think that having them up top makes it feel a lot easier. Because I tried to play Katamari on
great fucking game.
It rules, but I have it on the Switch. And with the two sticks that are kind of lopsided, it doesn't feel right because you're used to the PlayStation controller, which had them exactly in the center. Mm-hmm. And that makes you have that full range of motion. So I don't know.
I just like that they're symmetrical. I want, because like all the your Xbox and PlayStations, they don't. The discs are proprietary high-density optical disc format co-developed with Panasonic, similar to Blu-ray, 25 gigabytes per layer, and something that's unique about them.
Scratch resistant.
No, hold the sides. It's got
That's hefty.
It's got a softness. They have a soft, rounded rim. You can immediately feel it.
Yeah, that's weird.
I guess I don't remember that.
Yeah.
That is super weird.
So your kids don't scratch themselves throwing Wii U discs at each other.
Well, they I mean, durability is the name of the game with Nintendo.
It's backwards compatible. When you play Wii games on there, it actually has to go to a Wii startup screen, the Wii menu.
That's how I first played Skyward Sword.
Is that just a small menu?
It's just a Wii menu. It's a Wii heavy.
It's literally got the guts of the Wii U in it.
Yeah.
But
and it looks awful.
I was hoping, like, I plugged it in and I thought Tropical Freeze was in there, and I ejected a disc and I got Imagine Fashion Party popped out for the Wii, and I said, "Yeah, that sounds about right."
Then you got horny.
Well, because we bought it at Half Price Books, and I remember putting it in because I wanted to try some more Imagine games. Because Party Babies for the Wii is fantastic.
Yeah, I played it.
It's a 10 out of 10 game. We should get a poster for Party Babies in here.
Honestly, I'll draw it for us.
Us as babies.
Yes, us as babies. Imagine podcast babies. That's
perfect. On that note, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Awesome.
Today's episode is brought to you by our good friends at the First Encounter Video Game Podcast. It is a Let's Play podcast where two good friends, Chris and Haney, awesome guys, they take turns introducing each other to beloved classic video games. Season 1 featured Final Fantasy VII, and Season 2 they're currently playing through Majora's Mask. And yeah, these guys are awesome. We recommend checking them out, and thanks for listening to us as well. So back to the show.
You know what? I've come around on mobile gaming.
Coming around?
Oh, Brad, can I see that poster?
Yeah. You want to grab that for him? That came with the vinyl set for the Delicious Last Course. And it was such a nice poster. I had an extra frame sitting around, so I immediately put it in there. I'm going to put it up in the podcast room.
This looks really great.
That's just because all of the design work in Cuphead is just 10 out of 10 top notch.
Oh, God, yeah.
I love it.
This is really cool.
You know what else is not cool? The Wii U launch games.
Yeah, let's run through them.
Let's run through them. Mm-hmm. Assassin's Creed 3.
Okay, which I already had on the PlayStation 3.
It's a fun game, though.
It's a fun game. Batman Arkham City Armored Edition.
Armored Edition.
I gotta look up what that means.
It's like with a bunch of DLC already in it.
I hate
well,
that.
no. Also, there was like a different function where you could like customize Batman's armor to be like stronger in certain parts or something. It was a half-baked, ill-conceived edition. Call of Duty Black Ops 2.
Okay,
That's wow.
Darksiders 2. Epic Mickey 2. The Power of 2.
Darksiders 2 was fun.
ESPN Sports Connection.
What the fuck is that?
Look it up. Well, look it up while I keep going through this.
Sports Connection?
FIFA 13.
Of course.
Now, this is a game that sounds interesting. I didn't actually look up what it is, though. Funky Barn? Funky Barn.
Never heard of it.
Has my attention with the name, though.
Yeah. Did you
Plus,
look
it's
up anything about it?
No. I was
You
too...
just want to wonder about it.
I just like... If I
Sometimes you
know
wanna
about
wonder.
it, it might not be as good. Like Avatar 2.
It's better to keep it in your imagination.
Well, there's so many like sequels and 2s here, and then Funky Barn 1. I'm like, okay. Well, what is ESPN Sports Connection, Tyler?
Your Wi-Fi is failing me at the moment.
That's because it's horrible.
Use mobile data. And where's your case, young man? You're going to break that thing.
Getting a new phone tomorrow.
Game Party Champions. Now that's a title. What is it? Game Party Champions.
Okay.
Just Dance 4.
I mean, that's a system seller.
It is a system seller.
ESPN Sports Connection is like a variety pack Wii U sports game. So it's got like baseball, golf. Looks like it's got soccer.
All of them half-baked.
So it was probably the Wii Sports U that Nintendo should have made.
Yeah, it's got a 4 out of 10 on Nintendo Life and a 31% on Metacritic.
Up next, can you look up Funky Barn for me?
Funky Barn.
Mass Effect 3 Special Edition.
Weird.
New Super Mario Brothers U.
Okay, that's a good one. I mean, it's a fine game.
Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge.
That's cool.
Nintendo Land.
Nintendo Land is like the star of the show.
Never played it.
You know what? We could probably get a copy for $2. We'll play it.
Yeah, I would like to get a few more Wii U games. Rabbids Land.
What?
Rabbids has just been like all over the Nintendo, and I think it's nice that they did finally get to have a Mario game with the Rabbids. I am super pumped to play the new one. I'm waiting for the price to go down again.
I am too.
Because it will.
I know.
It will go down to 15.
Inevitably, it's going to be 30. And I'm like,
I saw it down to 32 over Christmas at one point, and I almost got it.
I will pay 30 and under for that game.
Scribblenauts Unlimited, Sing Party, Skylanders Giants,
Yep.
Sonic and All-Stars Racing Transformed.
That's actually a good game.
I'll take your word for it.
I've played it.
Tekken Tag Tournament 2, Wii U Edition.
I don't know what that means.
I don't know what those words are. We have a Funky Barn update from our reporter in the field.
Yeah, Brad, I'm out here on the streets and I got Funky Barn. I got some more information for you. Funky Barn 3D on the Nintendo 3DS.
No, we need the Wii U.
Here we go. Found it.
Okay.
All right. The Wii U is a farm arcade simulation game.
Oh, tell me there are cows in it, Tyler.
There are cows and sheep.
Whoa.
It's a farm arcade simulation?
Whoa.
Yes. Gameplay is similar to that of Story of Seasons series or Shepherd's Crossing. The player can choose between 2 game modes, the main game or challenge farms, and the main game players start their own farm while getting
Challenge
new
farms.
items.
This one's in
and
Antarctica.
Animals over time. And in challenge mode, they fix up an abandoned farm in extreme disrepair.
So it's basically like a Harvest Moon kind of.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound horrible.
That cover is ghastly.
What did it get ratings?
Funky Barn received mixed reviews upon release. The Wii U version currently
bad.
holds a rating of 50 out of 100 on Metacritic and a 50.83 on Games Ranking based on 10 and 12 reviews respectively.
So divisive. So divisive.
So 22 people played this game at least.
Transformers Prime, the game.
Does that got Shia LaBeouf in
If you want to research that one, you're welcome to. Warriors Orochi 3 Hyper, Wipeout 3, Your Shape, Fitness Evolved 2013, and Zombie U, which the Zombie U was hyped as one of the big releases for the Wii U.
Yeah, it was a Ubisoft original, correct?
I don't know.
I believe so.
I never played it, but that was like
I
they
have
had
played
zombies at the midnight release, zombies that were like hyping up the game as one of the selling points.
I did buy it when it got super cheap. It's fine. They actually ended up porting it to other systems where it got less favorable reviews. But I think like the inventory management on the little screen was actually pretty awesome. And the map, it was like a pseudo dungeon crawler survival thing.
Okay.
It reminded me a lot of Dead Island.
Okay.
Yeah, that's basically what it was.
I think that was the way that, because they're like, we're here for the hardcore gamers. You know what hardcore gamers want? We got Funky Barn.
Well, also zombie, they left out the E in zombie.
Zombu. Zombu.
Zombio.
I gotta look up this game. I might have played it.
You might have played it.
You never played
You
it.
might have played it on a different system then.
Yeah.
Because it did come out. It got ported
How do you spell it? Zombie without the what?
without the E.
The home screen for the console. The gamepad would feature a grid with shortcuts, while the TV displays a lobby, the Wara Wara Plaza, or you can switch them back and forth. Mm-hmm. And if your gamepad isn't working and sometimes you can't access the rest of the console. Very frustrating. The Wii mode is the legacy mode that emulates the Wii system software and menu interface. Initially only usable on the TV.
Sure.
October 2013 firmware update enabled the Wii mode off of the TV and on the gamepad. That wasn't out of the box, though, that you could play Wii games on the gamepad.
Shit. Yeah. Well, it was awful to play on
those games weren't made for it.
No.
Do you have another update here, Tyler?
I own Zombie. I own that game. I got it for free. It's clearly Zombie.
There's an eye on it. I think it is Zombie because there's an eye on the cover.
Okay. Well, I'll just defer to you. I guess Hooked on Phonics didn't work quite the way it should have.
Nintendo Network featured online multiplayer.
Oh, did it?
I played Smash Brothers online once or twice with this, and it was horrible.
Yep.
Online gaming is not there. The Wii U is not for online gaming.
It doesn't have the...
If you want to spend $10 on a Nintendo game you've beaten 1,000 times, though, we got you. Nintendo was on there, Super Nintendo, eventually 64.
Game Boy Advance,
and DS eventually as well.
Yeah, that's true.
You could video chat with the gamepad's camera and the Wii U chat service, up to 12 accounts per console. And the Miiverse is a social networking service allowing players to interact and share content in game-specific communities using their Mii as an avatar. Oh, so, man. Dylan, you had an avatar, and you were in many communities, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. The Splatoon one was oddly horny. People really wanted to fuck the Squid Kids, and it was pretty fucking disturbing. They all had ahegao faces, like...
How old do you think the kids are? Is it odd that I'm attracted to them?
Well, if they're just kind of animals, it's bestiality, I guess. But I never found them particularly horny. They did stick their asses out in weird ways, though. That always made me uncomfortable. But yeah, I just remember playing Splatoon, the first one, and being like, "Why is everyone so horny for this shit? You're little children. You're clearly children."
You were talking about masturbating to Pikmin earlier this episode.
Yeah, but they were just born, man, and they're plants.
You love plants.
It's like fucking a carrot. You don't know how I did it, but I did.
Oh, no.
More like a baby carrot.
Oh, you could, though. Compared to other vegetables, it is more amenable to that kind of thing.
And also, you're not really hurting anyone.
There was multimedia integration in the Wii U. App supported Amazon Video, Crunchyroll, Hulu, Netflix, and YouTube. You could all access on your Wii U.
I watched Crunchyroll a few times on that little screen.
Not bad. If you have a Wii U in your bedroom and you can just sit there and watch something on Netflix, that was an okay thing.
Yeah, it was.
If you didn't have an iPad, it was great because it's a bigger screen than your phone.
Yeah.
Then there was also Nintendo TV TV.
I've never even touched that. I'm not even sure what that is.
You want to hear about it?
I absolutely do.
This sounds riveting.
It allowed program listing from a user's TV provider to be integrated with online video or demand services into an electronic program guide. You know that channel you go to that just has the listings? That's what you can do on your Wii U.
That makes me angry.
It also integrated... there were a few cool features, though. It integrated with IMDb, Rotten Tomatoes, and Wikipedia.
That is cool.
So you could pull up a show and then get more information from those things.
Kind of like what Amazon does now.
Kind of, yeah.
With their X-ray, when you pause it, it's this is all the characters in the scene, and this is the music that's playing, and blah blah blah.
Yeah. Where have I seen that person before? That's cool.
Yeah. Also, it's such a weird time in history with TV being where it was back in 2012 for them to even think that was something that they needed to put on the Wii U for functionality.
Well, it's something that I think was before its time a little bit. Like when Xbox One came out and they said the first thing with their console they showed was Wheel of Fortune. Like a TV, they're like TV on your console. And that is not what you want to show gamers. And they're like, also, it's always on. We suck. But
well, the main thing here is that a scant 1 or 2 years before, they really started going heavy with their streaming service, Netflix.
Yeah.
So this thing just couldn't handle the streaming power of it. This is running on something right now that is weaker than an iPad. Like 2 times weaker than an iPad.
I wouldn't be surprised at all at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny. It's just like, oh, wow, how quickly we kind of, like, you forget how 10 or 12 years can actually really boost everything. Because I'm playing, like, Genshin Impact on my iPad, and I'm just going, like, this looks better than my Switch by a mile.
I should get Vampire Survivors on my phone.
It rules.
That would be cool.
If I'm bored, oof.
You know how sometimes we do these console retrospectives and there is a million fun accessories and weird things to talk about, like built-in TVs with built-in PlayStation 2s and stuff?
Well, it's all experimentation. I think it's cool.
The Wii U, though, doesn't have that.
No.
Pro controller, gamepad, cradle, and stand.
Yeah.
Ooh la la.
I remember the stand. I
It's
like the
okay.
stand.
I'm glad I got it. But
it's
as
good.
far as accessories, this is what we have to talk about. There was a Wii U microphone for Karaoke U.
And Rock Band was on the Wii U, wasn't it? It was definitely on the Wii.
Probably. I don't know.
More than a wheelie.
Can you? Can our reporter in the field
Yeah.
look this up? There was the Wii U gamepad high capacity battery. You could upgrade the battery, and they sold it, which is pretty cool actually. There's just little screws in the back. It's easy to open.
They
up.
had a long extension from what I remember.
The GameCube controller adapter for Wii U. I have this. You just plug it in your Wii U, and you can use 4 GameCube controllers. It essentially, instead of having to buy 4 Pro controllers to play Smash Brothers, you just plug that in.
They did start selling GameCube controllers again.
Yep. Because it's just people fucking love them.
I don't think it was on the Wii U.
I don't think so either.
Yeah.
I don't think that was
I know.
marketable.
I remember playing Guitar Hero on the Wii at my buddy's house, and you had to put the nunchuck looking thing. You had to put it in the neck of the guitar or in the base of the
That
guitar.
sucks.
So you had to like it
And
was.
it's just like clacking around.
Well, no, it slid in,
Oh, okay.
and then you could like that,
Yeah.
on the base of the guitar, and then you could press
Oh,
buttons.
yeah,
and stuff.
I know what you're saying.
I'm holding the steering wheel motion controller attachment for Mario Kart that came with this. I would never have bought this because it's just not consistent. It's not a good way to play.
Well, it also, you can really tell how old you are compared to someone else. Like even people like 5 years younger than us, you can tell when they were born based on whether or not they use motion controls in Mario Kart.
Yeah.
That is the main signifier. Like, because it's like when I was in like the dating arena and people who were interested in games, like I'd have someone over and we'd be playing like Mario Kart 8 on the Switch, and I'd be like, oh yeah, and I'm just gonna grab this controller here, and they're like, I just like the little one and on its side. I'm like, oh no. Like, oh, I guess we didn't say our ages.
There was the Pokken Tournament Pro Pad, which is supposed to be a fantastic controller.
I've heard.
One of the greatest Mario Brothers players in the world, Grand Pooh Bear, who we had on the podcast once out in Portland, he prefers to play with a Pokken controller because the way the D-pad is set up, the way it responds and clicks is just better. I don't know the specifics, but
I played Pokken Tournament.
is it good?
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's Pokemon Tekken, essentially, right?
It's really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. They made one for this, or they released like a deluxe version for the Switch. I always meant to get it, but it was always fucking $60. I'm not doing that.
The Wii Fit U balance board. And then
Oh God, no.
I put down Amiibo, Lego Dimensions, Skylanders, yada, yada, yada. Because that is a cool thing for kids. You know, you have your toy and you're able to put your toy on the thing and it goes up to the screen. That's fun. I get it.
Yeah, my cousin was all about that shit.
Well, what's really cool is that you can, for different games, even now they still have it. Like Xenoblade Chronicles 3, you could get rewards based on what amiibo you put on top of it, and sometimes it would almost be responsive. Like you would get a certain blaster if you put on like Star Fox. It like Bayonetta 2 had one of the best games of all time. Had amiibo functionality, and you can unlock the costumes where she dresses up like Princess Peach, Star Fox, Daisy, and Link. It was kind of cool.
That's hot.
That's actually really hot.
That's really hot.
So I was playing around with it, and I'm like,
Because Link is from Zelda.
Link is Zelda.
I'm so fuzzy on it.
I know.
Yeah.
You're not even paying attention.
What is Zelda?
Main character.
An overrated game franchise?
Potentially.
Are we having a real discussion here?
No, not on this show. That's funny. Let's talk about what happened after the launch. May 2013, EA announced it was reducing support for the Wii U. No games in development. We're backing away. We're washing our hands. This is clearly not something I want to be associated with anymore.
Sure.
It's like Republicans with the Trump thing happening right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, you cut out my shit and you keep that?
They did. Career con man.
Yes, of course.
July 2013, Bethesda said no games for the Wii U was in development.
Ooh.
You are losing people fast.
Ooh, no Skyrim for you. The what? No Skyrim U. Are you kidding me?
you
That's
go.
like the one console within that entire span that didn't get it.
Yeah.
The PS Vita almost got it.
Yeah. No Skyrim U. It'd be Skyrim. They just changed the I to the U.
Skyrim. Because you got to drink while you play it.
Yeah. To make it bearable.
Yeah.
July 25th, 2013, they released the improved battery pack for the gamepad. September 20th, 2013, this is, a little under a year out. $50 price cut. The deluxe set was dropped to $300 in North America, and also the Wind Waker HD release. This was the biggest push that the Wii U had after the initial release. Wind Waker HD. Dylan is very excited. Tell me about this.
The Wind Waker HD was the best upgrade that it could have ever received. They made gameplay improvements that give you like a faster sail. They made hunting for the Triforce shards a lot easier. With the little map on the screen, it felt like you were a real sailor. It was so cool. I think that's the best version of it. I don't know why in God's name it's not on the Switch. That is the perfect lead-in to Tears of the Kingdom.
Because they probably also know that when they are having a slow time and they need to just pull out something to boost sales, they can just bust it out whenever they need to.
I think they also realized that they released Skyward Sword HD, and they brought it to the Switch as kind of like here's like the...
Please play it.
They're like, it may not be what you're used to if you're a new player, but this is what it was at the time. And I think
It's bad when you apologize when you're announcing something.
they're like, I know this may not be what you want, but I'll tell you what, it still kind of sucks. I don't know. They should have just done Wind Waker because Wind Waker was so charming and artistically sound. Why didn't they just do that? And now this as the person who got the Joy-Cons and Skyward Sword on physical, but whatever.
With the Wind Waker HD release, there was a 200% rise in sales over August of 2013.
Yep.
January 2014, the forecast of 9 million units sold in the fiscal year for 2014 were cut from 9 million to 2.8 million.
Ouch.
They're like, we are not planning on selling consoles this year.
Damn. That is quite the concession.
Dude. Yeah, they did.
The homes. Oh, wait, no, we already talked about that. November 2014, Smash Brothers for Wii U sold 490,000 copies in 3 days. That's good numbers for the Wii U. That was very good numbers for the Wii U
Because that was the one that people bought it for earlier.
That's
like
why I bought it.
That's like 25% of the people that bought a Wii U at this point.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's the reason I bought the Wii U was to play Smash Brothers, and then this was the Mario Kart set, so I got it with Mario Kart.
Yeah.
And
I waited for Mario Kart.
the game I probably played the most on here is Mario Maker. Mario Maker is a banger of a title.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the top 10 best-selling Wii U video games.
Okay. I'm super curious about this because I don't know them.
Spoiler warning, all of these were bundled with the console at some point,
Oh, shit.
except number 10.
So Nintendo Land is on there?
Well, number 10, Nintendo Land is on here. Pretty much if it was bundled with the console, it's on this list.
Right.
Number 10 is the only one that wasn't bundled. Mario Party 10 sold 2.27 million.
A really boring Mario Party. you're in a cart together and you go across like the field together with dice rolls. It's really stupid.
Fuck that.
It's not even that competitive.
That's stupid.
I like these Warhead beers.
Yeah,
I actually do.
solid.
I think they're tasty.
Should we try the other one you brought though?
Yeah. Oh, sure. I got the Lake Louie Brewing National Haze. This is courtesy of executive producer Jordan Hoff.
Thank you, Jordan.
Thanks, Jordan.
Number 9, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker HD, 2.36 million. Number 8,
And all the rest of these were bundled at some point.
all these were bundled. Number 8, we have New Super Luigi U at 3.07 million, which is odd that it got that big in numbers.
Also, just a dumb name for a game.
Well, all of these names aren't
That
great.
one's especially dumb. It sounds like an Italian person having a seizure if you say it fast enough.
Pass. I got no jokes I'm trying there. Number 7, Super Mario Maker, 4.02 million. I think this and the next game are the best franchises started on the Wii U. Mm-hmm. Number 6, Splatoon, 4.95 million. Despite the horny community, this game is fantastic.
Way to go, guys.
Put it away, play the game.
Did you actually play it?
No, I've never played. I played Splatoon 3 a little bit
Really? Where?
on a demo. I hated
Oh,
it.
the demo. Oh,
First, beer.
beer. Yeah. All right.
Thank you for sharing this one, Dylan and executive producer
course.
Jordan.
So they were bought out by another company, and apparently I missed out on like the real shit, like the good. They changed some of the recipes.
Good.
Yeah. But it's still a fine hazy IPA. It's kind of even she agreed. It's a little on the bland.
Compared to some super hipster beers, yeah.
Well,
it's drinkable and delicious, though.
Well, I think it needs a little more like citrus, maybe
Yeah.
Yeah.
a little depth of flavor. I don't know. I think it's good. I think it's incredibly drinkable, but I don't think there's anything special about it.
It's funny how the moment I started working on construction sites, my willingness to just drink literally anything that'll get me drunk just went way up.
Yeah.
And
It's called being blue collar, boys.
it's like, I really don't care how delicious this beer is. I will drink it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it's like me with cheese now. It's like, I'm like, I don't know. It's good. It's fine. I like Velveeta.
Someone's describing.
It's not even cheese, really.
They're describing the
It's whey
shirt.
product.
I like Velveeta, though. Velveeta is good.
Oh, no, it's good for melting. It makes the best grilled cheese in the world. And fight me on it, anyone.
Ooh.
I don't think I think everyone agrees with you, probably.
Yeah, a Velveeta grilled cheese is pretty solid.
Well, it just melts well.
Yeah.
And it tastes like
when you
salt.
make a grilled cheese with a cheese designed to melt.
Well, it's that, but also you don't want to. I would never take a nice block of 14-year cheddar and ever try to grill it
fuck that.
in between bread. That's not what it's there for.
You know what you also got to do? You got to take the stick butter and you got to put it in the pan and let that melt, and then put the bread on top of it so the bread stays thick and crispy. You don't butter the bread, and you don't butter the bread and then put the bread down. You put the butter in the pan.
Did you ever, when you were working at the cheese store,
Yes, of course, Tyler.
I know, but I've just found out that people are still
I
buttering
used to be
the
a
bread.
cook too.
People are still buttering the bread out there.
Oh, people buttering the bread, that's just going to burn your toes.
I used to
Yeah.
be able to visit Dylan at a cheese store, and he would make sandwiches, grilled cheese sandwiches, live.
Mm-hmm.
It was fascinating. Do you ever tell people that we're buying Clock Tower cheese, Clock Shadow cheese?
Clock Shadow.
Did you ever tell them, like, Velveeta's the best cheese, though?
I always said, like, do you want a sandwich with this? I guess, but like you're just going to want to eat it on its own. Like you want to appreciate the flavor. When it melts, it completely distributes the chemicals.
But I'm a 30-year-old man, baby. I just want a grilled cheese.
Well, then I would give you a mild cheddar. It's fine. It'll melt great.
as long as it tastes good.
Yeah, with some jam.
Dinosaur shapes. Ooh.
Dinosaur shapes, yeah.
Number 5.
Dinosaur shapes do taste a little better.
Dino nuggets fucking slap. I love
Yeah.
dino nuggets.
I like to imagine that the ketchup is their blood.
I will say, I will say,
My brother eats them with ranch, though.
Oh,
That's
gross.
how me.
I think that's okay. Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, macaroni and cheese isn't that good.
I thought you were going to say
What are the shapes? Namor and
I didn't look.
you didn't look. You just smurfed it.
Was either that or the unicorn like shapes? Because I wanted to revisit the shapes, and I support Black Panther 2, Wakanda Forever, but the macaroni and cheese.
I refuse to eat any SpaghettiOs that aren't just the O's, because then it ruins the point. They're no longer SpaghettiOs. They're spaghetti shapes.
Spaghetti Ant-Mans.
Spaghetti Ant-Mans. Quantumania.
Ooh, this one's Kang.
You all know him. It's perfect.
Number 4, Super Smash Brothers for the Wii U.
That
5.38
makes
million units sold.
absolute sense. We know number 1 is Mario Kart 8.
Number 3, New Super Mario Brothers U. 5.82 million. That's because it was packaged. I don't think it would have sold that much.
No, it would have. It would have.
Number 2, Super Mario 3D World.
Yes.
5.88 million.
One of the best Mario games.
And by a long shot, number 1, Mario Kart 8. 8.46 million sold.
Let's not even talk about how on the Switch it's still the best selling too.
it is the first game I bought for my Switch.
Yes, everyone does.
Yep.
It is kind of an obvious thing.
Yep. I bought that and then Hades, pretty back to back.
Sure. I mean, it makes complete sense. I know that's the highest selling game on the Switch. I know it beat Breath of the Wild.
I also was playing my brother's Nintendo Switch, not the OLED, and I did not realize how lucky I got waiting for the OLED. Like it is a huge step forward.
You have to bring it in. I'd like to see it.
Yeah,
I've never seen one in action
it is smooth.
because I'm not buying another one of these things.
Now let's talk about the death of the Wii U. This shit's bad. Start something new, guys. This is not working. More like Wii Poo.
Oh my God. When did it, now to your recollection, when did it really start dying? Because I
The
remember
moment
it was-
they announced it.
well, I remember like the fallout, like from 2014 into mid 2015, they had some decent releases. They gave people what they wanted, another Pikmin game. They had some like side projects they were working on. They gave us Bayonetta 2 in 2014. But I remember when it started like really slowing down, I remember buying Fire Emblem #Mirage or something like that. It's a Persona game, but with Fire Emblem characters.
Great.
And they're K-pop idols.
Wow.
J-pop.
Man, you're just hitting all of these franchises, and it sounds like it should be a
I
banger.
was desperate for Wii U games at that point. I had a PS4. I was fine. I should have been fine. But I was just like, I want to play games on this system because it was a fun system. But then the dry spell happened, and do you know when it started?
Well, March 17th, 2015, the new console, the NX, was announced and described as a brand new concept. June 2015, the basic Wii U was discontinued. You could only get the 32 gigabyte model from then on, which
The
is
8
fine.
gigabyte was so fucking dumb.
They're actually worth money now.
Just because of rarity.
Yeah.
Plus, they're white. They're like the white Wii U is much rarer than the black.
Well, you don't want your dusty, flaming hot Cheetos hands touching this
Oh
thing.
man, I'd be so flaming hot Cheetoed.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
April 2016, at an investors meeting, it's announced the NX would release in March of 2017.
They were right.
June 2016, Breath of the Wild announced as no longer Wii U exclusive.
Oh shit, I did not know that.
Yeah. That was a big thing in that E3.
Breath of the
No
Wild is
shit.
available on the Wii U. You can play it on there, the whole game.
Really?
That's actually a rare game on the Wii U.
I would love to play it.
Me too.
Jakey, he mentioned that he played Breath of the Wild at like a weird time of his life, and he only had a Wii U, and he said it was amazing. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it is. It's just longer loading. It doesn't look as pretty.
I actually think because you don't need to load the map, I think it might actually be quicker.
Also not look as good.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it still doesn't look good on the Switch. It never looked great.
I think it's
it looked pretty good.
It's a pretty looking game.
It's fine. I
Yeah.
just don't think it looks that good. Like, I don't know.
Like Hades. Hades looks so good on the Switch.
I mean,
It's
that's
pretty.
all anime. That's all basic polygons animation.
The
just
simpler
so
the
pretty.
game, the better. Like Kentucky Route Zero looks fantastic on the Switch. It is
look
not
on-
demanding anything.
seen
well, yeah,
Pong?
that's pure
Seen what?
artistic.
Pong
Pong,
on the
man.
Switch.
it's crisp, dude.
Dude.
It's sharp edges.
Dude, those pixels are 1-to-1.
1-to-1.
We should do. We need to do a Pixels watch together an episode.
Oh
The
yeah,
Adam Sandler movie?
yeah.
the one
haven't
where
seen
Josh
it.
Gad
It's-
impregnates
it's for gamers.
Cubert, who turns
Yeah.
into a hot lady.
He fucks Cubert, dude.
Dude, he fucks.
Dude,
Cubert.
you know what? I watch
Finally
Elvis.
his dream.
I watch Elvis the Alien a lot on YouTube, and he does a lot of reviews of bad movies and
Yeah.
good movies. and
Elvis the Alien.
Elvis the Alien.
Okay.
Fantastic. But
Where
he
do
does
people come up with these crazy names?
he does
Elvis
a lot
Presley.
of
he was a musician.
he does a
his
lot of
daughter
Nick
just
Cage
died.
movies.
Careful.
Rest in peace, Lisa.
Yeah.
Did you guys did you just pour one out for Elvis's daughter? What just happened?
Lisa Marie
died,
Presley.
yeah.
She dated Michael Jackson. Okay, this is important.
She just died, right?
Yeah.
Is that what
Speaking of dying,
I had a tangent I was gonna say, and the death of Elvis's daughter just totally threw me off.
Age 54, man.
July 2016, it was revealed in a shareholder meeting that Kimishima and Miyamoto expected the Wii U to sell 100 million units. Only 13 million units were sold for the Wii U.
Do you think that's why he was brushed aside?
Miyamoto?
Miyamoto?
He's not brushed aside.
Oh, he's definitely brushed aside.
And
He was given-
Iwata took a lot of the blame. And,
Well, listen.
Iwata was...
I think after Star Fox Zero, they said, "Okay, old man, you absolutely don't understand what's
Are we
happening."
talking about Miyamoto?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they literally said, like, "Hey, old timer, you can be a consultant, but you can't do it. Why don't you make your Pikmin shorts?" Those animated shorts he made,
Yeah.
pretty good.
Well, and also Satoru Iwata, R.I.P. for real. He integral in Nintendo, fantastic human being. He was battling cancer at the time, which is why you didn't see him in a lot of promotional things or
Yeah.
like conventions.
Or his Iwata asks.
And that's why we got the puppet thing, which the puppet was great with Miyamoto, Iwata, and Reggie.
Yeah, for
Announced-
Star Fox Zero.
Fucking awesome little.
I wish that game was good.
Me too. But
That game should have been good.
Iwata was battling cancer, and he took when the Wii U failed. He sacrificed his own salary.
Yeah.
He cut it like way down, rather than blaming anyone else in the company or giving anyone less money. He personally just got less money and accepted the blame.
But that's the culture of Japan.
And that's why I fucking love Japan.
Yeah, I do too.
I
Well,
remember reading about that when it happened.
yeah. I mean, like, it's fine. You're still making a shitload of money. And this was his passion. And I think he wanted to leave a lasting legacy. I think he definitely did.
Yeah, no one has anything bad to say about Iwata.
I've never heard one bad thing about the man. And that's kind of super rare if you even look at like Rick and Morty these days.
October 20th, 2016, the Switch was formally announced. What a good fucking name. The Switch. It describes a tough concept. It's switches from, being up on your screen or portable. It's elegant.
Yeah.
It's simple. It's descriptive. And the Wii U is not.
It rolls off the tongue.
The Wii U.
No, not the Wii U.
January
That was the joke.
January 2017, Reggie says the Wii U was a necessary step to get to the Switch.
He's right.
Yeah, well, yeah, that game.
The gamepad is
Yeah,
reminiscent.
it looks like something you'd find like drawn on cave walls.
It almost feels
after,
like a prototype.
The Switch came out. Yeah.
Do you remember when they had the original model of the DS that they showed on screen, or they showed at E3, and they like showed it to the world, and it just looked awful. And then they showed the actual one; it was better.
Yeah.
And then they perfected it with the DS Lite.
Do you think they do that on purpose?
No.
Make it look terrible or
No,
not as good as
I don't think
They put
do.
out the best looking option they have at the time, and then they
Yeah.
get the feedback and they just alter it.
Well, this was also at a time where development, like in prototypes, meant a lot less because the core components of these systems were like so much easier to produce that it was just like, all right, we're showing you this, and then the actual one comes out, and you wouldn't care anyway because you were going to buy it no matter what.
Yeah.
It's like another Game Boy. What are you going to do? Are you looking up the picture of it?
No, I was looking up something else for this.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that this was just a mistake on their part marketing wise. I think this could have been popular. I don't necessarily like that it was still like this motion controlled, half motion controlled type of thing. It's confusing for people. And if you're doing marketing or anything like that, the whole entire point of marketing is to make things easy for people. This kills the most germs. This cleans your floors better.
Yeah.
Like you can't be like, well, this also integrates with this, this, and this. No one wants to read a manual. It's a fucking video game.
It's also a weird spot because you can see the DNA for the Switch here.
Yes,
Like, I mean, it's sitting on the table in front of us, and the success of the Wii. And it's weird to have two successful systems with this one like weird middle child in between. It's like where they just didn't get it. The concept didn't click.
Yeah. It's like an Oreo where the cream is slightly rotten.
Can cream rot?
But it's still
yes.
It's still necessary to hold the cookies together, though.
Yeah. And I
think this is when we win our Grammy this episode, when we talk about the Wii U as...
I think we're actually being very intelligent about this. Yeah, we're going to win the Grammy.
Keep going.
What do you mean?
I'm going to start playing some epic music while you talk about the Wii U.
And I will always... No, I actually...
Will love you.
Will Wii U.
I loved this system when I had it, and... to a point where I was buying games that I didn't necessarily think I wanted when I was still really poor, but I still bought it anyway because I really enjoyed the tactile feel of it. It does feel like a Fisher-Price toy all the way through.
It does. That feels like a toy when you hold it a little bit.
And I think that's also what Nintendo's good at. I think Nintendo's good at toys. I think Nintendo's good at pure enjoyment on a basic level. And I think the Wii U... its biggest issue was just market penetration. I think the fact that they had controllers from a previous generation and then they lock it into here, that's where you make most of your money is extra controllers.
It's
in software.
Well, and the Switch manages to cater to hardcore gamers too. Breath of the Wild is a game that brought everyone together.
Sure.
And
and there's Skyrim on there now,
which is what you really needed.
That's all you need.
It does look good.
The Wii U is the 22nd best-selling video game console of all time.
What is the 21st?
Well, it is just behind the GameCube.
Yeah.
So the Wii U sold 13.56 million units. The GameCube sold 21.74, much more, but still, 21st is not a good thing by any stretch.
Well, the GameCube though came out in a time where video games were less prominent within like the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
So even that puts a lot more on the Wii U's back.
Yeah, and the PlayStation 2 was an absolute powerhouse.
Yeah.
And it is just ahead of the PlayStation Vita, which sold estimated 10 to 15 million. So it might be more, but we don't have the numbers.
I had one.
Yeah, I'd like to have a Vita.
It's fine.
The last physical release for the Wii U was Shakedown Hawaii. That came out like last year.
Are you fucking kidding?
Oddly enough. 2020 it came out.
Oh, okay.
But
so 3 years ago.
Yeah. Long COVID.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wild is the last first-party game. January 31st, 2017 is when they discontinued worldwide making Wii U's. It's it. It's done. Don't buy them. Third-party games were released until 2020. 103.53 million Wii U games were sold worldwide as of 2022 September, and only 10 games surpassed the 1 million mark.
Jesus.
9 of them were packaged with the system. And
I mean, what's the lesson to learn here? Is it just that sometimes you have to take a loss before you take like the biggest win on the face of the planet?
they adjusted accordingly in a very big way.
They did. I think they found what they... I think what's cool is that they didn't flip in a completely opposite direction. They actually kind of stuck with the core concept and ideas. Because like they said the one thing that people loved about this, they probably got a ton of feedback, was that you had that pad. Mm-hmm. And that it was cool to connect it to the TV, and then you could do stuff from the TV and then move to that. That had to be the lesson that they learned. And also, I think they realized that graphics don't mean that much, because if you're playing Mario Kart 8, which still looks awesome, as long as you got like as long as your character models look good and as long as the gameplay is tight, I don't think people give a shit about what you give them.
I was playing Tropical Freeze last night. My jaw was on the floor.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is the prettiest fucking game I've ever
You should
played.
see it on the Switch. It's pretty fucking phenomenal.
But it doesn't even need the higher fidelity because it's just well designed and it's put together, and I'm sure it looks better, but also
but
if it's something is that well made, my jaw was on the floor, and every level I was just gobsmacked at how good it was. I'm seriously, Tropical Freeze is get it for the Switch. You should.
I own it for the Wii U.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, because you got it. You bought it to get it signed.
I bought it to get it signed. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Because you don't just drink beers with David Wise and Kevin Bayless all the time.
That was my biggest mistake in the world.
Yeah.
I had almost signed a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
Here's my Salamandos signed poster.
I have a Salamandos. Thank you for getting that for me for Brad.
Yeah.
But that's up at the
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. No, yeah. I really like this system, and it gets shit on so much, and I almost feel the need to be like the devil's advocate and say I don't think that this was a failure conceptually. I think it was a failure marketing, and I think it was a failure in terms of sales, but for what it is, it could have done so much more. And even towards the end of its life, Miyamoto tried with Star Fox Zero. He just made a bad game.
If Breath of the Wild came out 2 years earlier, or if it was announced to coincide with the release of the Wii U, this is a lesson in marketing. This is a lesson in, how the Xbox One came out and somehow botched an entire generation with how they announced stuff.
Which is why I think one of the last games on the Switch is going to be the Mario Odyssey sequel. And it's going to pair with, it's going to be like, do you want the upgraded version or do you still want to play this? I think that's literally how it's going to work. Because they're not going to have another, I think Zelda Tears of the Kingdom is going to appear on the other one. But
which hasn't been talked about at all.
It's been highly in development. They don't want to pull the trigger yet.
Which is smart. Yeah. Hopefully, though, that they just announce it properly.
Yeah.
As long as it's still the Switch. What they really need to do is just call it the Super Switch. Or the Switch. Switch 2, but I think the Super Switch is a good name.
I think Switch 2 works a little bit better because then people have a clear concept of it. Super Switch sounds like an expansion.
Well, it's like Nintendo Super Nintendo, which also confused people back in the day. They're like, well, it doesn't play Nintendo games.
You think they'll do like Switch 4K and call it Switch 4K? No, that doesn't sound
I think
right.
just Switch 2.
Switch 2. How about Switch U?
Switch U.
Oh, I like that. As a big fuck you.
Yeah, Switch FU.
Switch yourself.
The Nintendo fuck.
Yeah. I
FUK though, so it's not a swear word.
I think one of the things we bonded on when we first became friends, Brad, was that we actually liked the Nintendo Wii U.
Well, I think it was that when you brought chili to me at work, and I was like, this guy is awesome.
Oh, well, that too.
Also, yes, we both like the Wii U. Yeah. You make good fucking chili. Is what I'm saying.
I make good everything, but I made some pulled pork for my in-laws because they were visiting our place for like the first time, and they're just like, "That's the best I've ever had." And I'm like, "That can't be true." And my mom and Jordan's like, "Oh, they just eat anything." Like, okay, great.
These Dino Nuggets are amazing.
We did actually buy Dino Nuggets for.
Is this blood?
Technically, my niece and nephew. Because they wouldn't eat the pulled pork because it had apple cider vinegar and onions.
It had flavor.
Actually, yeah.
One last bit of information here. The Nintendo eShop will be discontinued this year, March 27th.
Ooh.
If you need to buy anything for your Wii U, which I bought about a year and a half ago when we did the Mario RPG special. Sure. I bought Paper Mario for the 64 on the Wii U because you couldn't buy it on the Switch.
Not yet.
I had it on the Wii
now
U.
It is.
Yeah.
I had it on the my Wii U as well. It's my first time playing it.
The shop will be canceled, discontinued, and there are probably still a number of Wii U games that are only available on that shop.
Yeah.
That are not going to be $60 Switch releases. That'll eventually go down to $42. And fuck you.
I should have researched that, to be honest, because there are some things that, even like DS games, that are just going to disappear off the market completely.
I need to get a body pillow to put Thane in. We have a sexy body pillow of Thane up on the wall. Sorry, I got distracted.
Cute.
It looks
just
great.
Got the covering.
Yeah, I don't actually have a pillow. Just I was surprised when it arrived and it was just the pillowcase. I thought I was getting a pillow.
No,
yeah,
your mistake.
Yeah, the Wii U is cool though. I like it.
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of follow Nintendo like a bit of a zealot. It's just kind of who I am.
They're a fascinating company.
The older I get, the more I'll criticize them. But I also think for all their mistakes, they have enough people in there who are really smart and kind of find some success within their mistakes to actually go forward. I think they're just phenomenally like brilliant. I don't think a lot of companies have that because they have such bad work ethic, but it's fine.
I'm thankful for the Wii U because I got a Switch and I like it.
Hey, if there's any reason.
I think that sums up the episode pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Switch is still the best video game console of all time.
The Switch is pretty fucking nice.
And then Nintendo's like, also, here's the Virtual Boy. And you're like, wow, you really made another misstep.
Well, they tried to, expand the market. It's great. I don't know if I have anything else to say about it.
Hair of the Dogcast is appreciative that you listen to us. Thank you, because we are beautiful, hairy, drinking buffoons. Just trust us. Don't look up pictures because it will not hold up to what I just said. We are hairy and buffoons, but we're
also kind of sexy. We got a bit of a...
in like a schlubby kind of way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm more like punk rock.
Yeah. Yep. On the Splatoon message boards, your punk rock Splatoon 69.
And it's just a picture of a Splatoon girl
with her butt out.
Squid Kid with her butt out. I'm just like, check out that ass.
If you wanted to write reviews for us, that'd be great. I don't have actually like my spiel in front of me, so I'm just gonna wing it.
If you review us on iTunes, we'll read some of the nice ones.
We'll read the bad ones too.
That'd be funny.
You leave 5 stars and write mean stuff. That's the coolest thing.
If you leave 5 stars and insult me personally, I will be happy to read it. That's funny as hell.
One of my favorite emails we ever received was somebody saying our accents made him want to throw up when we were doing British accents.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, get over yourself.
He's like,
you have a bad American accent too.
No, he's like, I really like your guys' show, but I felt nauseous. I was like, Dylan, this is awesome.
Could you say that in a British accent?
All right, then, your accent ain't quite like what I was thinking, brother.
Bloody hell, brother.
Oh, and if you leave us a return, an iTunes review on the didgeridoo, we might as well just be up in it and do it.
Didgeridoo, Wii U.
Didgeridoo, Wii U.
If you wanted to get access to bonus podcasts, we have exclusive entire podcast where we talk about movies, and we have our after show, Dogs After Dark. If you want access to all of this bonus content, go to patreon.com/sharetheDogcast. We would love to have you. Special thanks to executive producers Brian Ward, Kip the Killer something guy.
Kip the Mario Kart Crasher.
New Kip U.
New Kip U.
Finally.
Ryan Christianick and Tyler Keller, thank you so much for supporting us. And Jordan Hoff, of course. And if you wanted to tweet at us, we're at Hot Dogcast. We're on Facebook and Instagram. Just look us up. You'll find us.
Join our Discord. It's a fun time.
$3 a month is all it takes.
That's all it takes, baby.
Great people. And
we're a welcoming community.
Next week, we have a very awesome guest for Elden Dogs. One of them, 2 guys from Bonfire Side Chat. Cole Ross will be joining us.
Oh, cool.
And that I'm very excited to talk about the mountaintops of the Giants. So
cool.
That's all we have about the Wii U. We're going to stick around and do a Doggies After Dark for all of our beautiful Patreon supporters. And
this is where it gets silly.
This is where Dylan is allowed to say "cummy" 30 times in one episode.
I'm allowed to say whatever I want.
You're
my hostages.
I've only edited Doggies After Dark like 5 times, but it was for Dylan. We will see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.